Hi class, my name is Laura Hernandez and I'm here to do my final speech on my oral communication class. I can't believe it's been 5 weeks, and as challenging as this class has been for me, I must admit I have learned a lot. And although public speaking or oral communication is one of my biggest fears, this course helped me realize that public speaking is everywhere. It is part of our everyday routine. I know now that public speaking is definitely a benefit for me as a not only as a person but also as a future nurse. In this course, we learned many practices that if we put them in practice in our oral communication, it will help us improve our public speaking skills. I would like to mention of these five of these practices. First one is that oral communication is not only a verbal message, but it is also a non-verbal message. I realized that my hands, my body, my facial gestures say a lot to other people. Therefore, I hope to be able to control all of my nonverbal messages and always send a positive message, such as a smile, to my listeners. The second practice that I would like to mention is that I learned that I need to be audience centered. This means that I should consider who my audience is and talk to them according to their needs and their desires. For example, as a nurse, I know that how I talk to a toddler, a young child, or how I explain procedures to them is going to be very different from the way I talk and explain procedures to an elderly woman. So I hope to always remember this in my daily routine life and also as a registered nurse. The third practice I want to mention is that I not only need to be a speaker and talk, but I also need to be a listener. Statistics show that students who listen more effectively learn better and earn better grades. So I definitely want to put this one in practice. The fourth practice that I want to mention is that I need to be doing researching on all of my topics. And to help us do this, we can use the internet, we can use books, indexes, and journals. We just need to make sure that all of our resources are valid and reliable. The fifth practice that I want to mention is that my speeches should always have an introduction, main ideas, they should transition smoothly, and should always have a conclusion. I hope to always remember these practices, and I hope to be able to put them in practice so that when I do give a public speech, I will be able to deliver it clearly, understandably, and effectively. In this course, we performed three different speeches. There was an informative speech, a demonstration speech, and a persuasive speech. My informative speech was on how to start an IV. Although I was very nervous, I thought my speech went okay. I have some knowledge and experience on how to do this, so I was able to give information on the benefits and the risks of having an IV. However, a lot of things went wrong with this speech. First, I had a hard time gathering an audience. I forgot to cite my resources, and not only did I give an informative speech, but I also gave a demonstration on how to start an IV. So unintentionally and without knowing that I was giving that in the following week I was supposed to give a demonstration speech. Therefore, I had already given a demonstration for the following week. Therefore, when the following week came and it was time to give my demonstration speech, Mr. Bristol advised me to only give an informative speech since I had already given a demonstration speech. My speech was on influenza. It went well. I thought I improved a little bit on this speech in the fact that I had valid and reliable resources and I actually cited them. I think I was a little more prepared for this speech. However, the one thing that did go wrong with this speech was that after several attempts on getting an audience, I had no luck. So therefore, I had to give a speech without an audience. The last speech that I gave was a persuasive speech. My speech was on how seatbelts save lives. I improved in this speech in the fact that I was finally giving the right speech for the right week. Imagine that. I cited my resources and I also had an audience. However, I was still very nervous and I noticed that my hand gestures were still not being used with a purpose and I still use the word quite often. So obviously I have a lot to put in practice. I have a lot of work to do as far as public speaking goes. But I have faith in God that He will guide me through my oral communication and my public speakings. I hope to always remember one of my favorite scriptures, which is Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 and 37. It says, "But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned." I can only hope and pray that the words that come out of my mouth will never condemn me in God's eyes, but rather I hope to only glorify Him. And with this, I say thank you to all of you, to all of my classmates, especially Professor Bristol. I thank you for your patience and your guidance through this class. I truly enjoyed this class, and I wish everyone the best, and may God bless all of you. And thank you.